welcome back to my channel. I hope that you are doing well, and this looks like it's going to be one of the last videos for the uploads for today here on this channel. So I do hope that you are doing well. I hope that you've had a great day thus far. I hope you've gotten a chance to, if you're watching this on the day that it actually is airing and uploaded, I hope that you also had an opportunity to make sure that your voice was heard. So that being said, well, y'all, looks like another one bit the dust. Another celebrity couple, that is. Are we surprised? You know, it seems like there's such a revolving door when it comes to the breakups, to the makeups, to the shakeups, to the breakups yet again. And I guess it's unfortunate that this couple was befallen by the same fate as so many before them. Now, I really had high hopes for this couple. Don't ask me why. Don't ask me why. I just, like, you know, I love love. And so whenever a couple gets together, it doesn't always mean that they are really going to go the distance, but it's nice when they at least appear to try to go the distance. So nevertheless, you know, Channing, he just can't seem to get it right. And maybe that's the same case for Zoe as well, because I do believe, wasn't she engaged before Channing? I'm not 100% sure if she actually was just only engaged or if she actually went down the aisle. I want to say that she just was engaged and it was a long-term relationship and that faltered. But, you know, these things do happen. I will say this. If you see in the beginning, before putting on that ring and going down that aisle, that things ain't gonna work out, good on you. You probably saved yourself a whole lot of years of heartache. So when you can spot that out from the get-go, I applaud you. I applaud you, because so many people don't do it. You see, as I said, I love love. That doesn't mean I like struggle love or toxic love or any of those above. I like love that's true and enduring. And unfortunately, I guess that's not the case for Channing and Zoe, at least for the time being. So with that being said, you know, I am happy though that we have balance today. I mean, the first video that dropped today, we talked about reconciliation after separation. So, you know, hey, look, at this point, we are just going down and the pendulum is swung on the other side. So let's go ahead and get into this, because this sharing is actually brought to us by AOL. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. Oh, Channing. So now we finally know apparently why Zoe Kravitz and Channing Tatum broke up this past weekend or last weekend, whenever it was. So if you've been waiting patiently for someone or anyone to dish on what went wrong in Channing Tatum and Zoe Kravitz's relationship, sources have finally come through with some details. Now, according to people who broke news of the couple split after 3 years of dating, they broke up recently. As in last weekend, as for why their source put it simply and said they haven't been on the same page and just simply grew apart. Now, meanwhile, on a Us Weekly Insider, it was stated that the breakup was a long time coming. So, wedding plans were looming, but neither of them were rushing to the altar, the insider said, explaining that Zoe and Channing's laid-back vibes put a lot of pressure on them and caused them to rethink the relationship after Blink Twice. Now, ultimately, once the project ended, they realized that they were on different pages with what they wanted, the source said. It fizzled fast after their press tour had wrapped, and Zoe is a very independent person. So after her divorce, she expressed that she didn't necessarily need to get married again. So there you have it. She did actually go down the aisle with the last guy. Now, she and Channing are opposites, but they always bonded over their love for art and film. And that is what held them together. They realized long-term that it wasn't going to work out. They were looking at the long-term bigger picture and realized they may not be a good match. That said, there is still a lot of love between them, and the breakup was amicable, which is good news considering they're about to star in a movie together. And if I'm not mistaken, it is not the only movie that they're actually in production to release. So I think there's more to come. I don't recall the actual name of that video or that project or that movie, but I think Blink Twice, isn't that actually in theaters right now? If it is, and you've seen it, let me know what you think about it. I could see from the advertisements, the promos or whatnot, the trailer, it actually looked really good. So, I'm going to go ahead and check it out at some point. I don't know in what modality it will be by the time I get an opportunity to watch it, but I'm definitely going to check it out. So, yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate that this is the demise of the situation, but sometimes simply people do just grow apart. But the one thing that I think that was really great to take away from this sharing is that they actually took a really hard look at the situation, even though they were together for 3 years, and realized that their, commonalities really just, at all intents and purposes, lied in the work, right? The art, the fun of the art, doing something different, maybe with something new. And I think that the movie's probably going to do really well. So at least they've got that to, go for it. But, again, it does seem like Zoe is a very independent woman. And so, this just wasn't going to work out for her. And she made sure that she wasn't going to make, I guess, that second choice or that second option to go down the aisle a second time with someone that it wasn't going to work out with. Now, I wonder, considering that they were together for 3 years, if maybe her thoughts of knowing that she wasn't necessarily itching to get married again, if she had actually shared that with Channing in the beginning. Because see, if Channing was itching to get married, or maybe thought that, well, I better put a ring on it because she wants to get married, well, this could have stopped all that confusion from the get-go. Or is it that he really wanted to get married? And so she thought, well, maybe I'll go along with it and see how it goes and see how I feel. But if it's not feeling right, I'm going to back out. And, apparently they decided it wasn't going to work for them long-term and they backed out. And look how just adult that is. So no slashing across each other, no nasty words said to each other, no, let me try to show up you with this next person I'm with, and all of that foolishness. Just a clean break. And I think that's great. And hopefully they both will find what they're looking for in future partners that will bring out whatever it is that they want to be brought out in them. And, Channing will probably go down the aisle again at some point, but just not now. Now, personally, I liked him and Jenna Dewan. I did not mind him and Zoe together, though. I think him and Zoe, I thought, looked like a really cool match to me. But before that, Jenna and him, I thought was a really cool match. But then again, sometimes, love just springs out hot. And usually relationships that go out that way, unfortunately, sometimes they burn out the same. And, it ran its course. And now Jenna is happily with another guy who she actually just had a second child with, which now has her with 3 children. They're engaged and I guess soon to be married. Now that it appears that the divorce is either now final with her and Channing, or at least moving in that direction, which I had heard somewhere that Zoe was a bit of a catalyst in helping that move along. So, hey, look, if that is the case, I don't know if it's true or not, but if it is, well, that was a good thing, right? So at least when she walked out the door, she left good vibes, the good vibe and the ability for him to be able to move on too. So yeah, I think that's really great. And, look, she is a fabulous girl, woman, whatever, and she's going to be fine, right? I mean, at the end of the day, she is got so much talent and so much ahead of her, and so does Channing for that matter. And these two beautiful people will be just fine. So, were you shocked by that? Are you surprised that it kind of fizzled out after the movie? Some people thought that maybe that's how they got together, not so much just for the love of the art, but maybe the only reason they got together was because of the art. Like, maybe it was a help for both of them to kind of get out there. They needed a splash maybe, and this would be one. I don't know. Those things kind of circulate sometimes. So in other words, it would mean to see if this is a real relationship or not, right? But I'd love to know your thoughts. So, definitely leave us down below in the comment section, respectfully below, and let's have a conversation about it. And I think that will probably do it for this video. So with that being said, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for taking the time to view. Thank you again for all your viewing, listening, and support as always. And of course, if you are new here and haven't had an opportunity to hit the subscribe button, I wish that you would and be a part of the family. I would so love to have you. And of course, make sure you leave your all notification bells on, because I've got many more stories to bring to the platform to the platform. And and just, I want to know your thoughts about those as much as I like to share mine. So with that being said, I'm going to bid you adieu for this video. Make sure you give it a like, and thank you again for being here. And until next time, you take care and be blessed, and we'll see you. Bye.